do it, right? Unfollow me, because I want to. All right. Hopefully this is working here. So I think it's been about 3 years since I've been posting videos, content as they call it, vertical videos consistently here on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I'll just tell you bluntly, I've just been getting quite tired of making these videos. I'll just be totally honest about it. And in the same breath, I also want to tell you how grateful I am that this has become my primary source of income. I do client work outside of this. This has become my job. This is my full-time job. And with that, the process of creating videos, scripting them, planning them, researching them, shooting them, editing them, my workflow has been streamlined. So I can get these things done quicker, faster than I used to. But also with that comes a sort of monotony to it, a repetitive cycle. All of these people that have seen my videos, you guys that are watching now, you probably have no idea what I did before becoming a full-time photographer and videographer. And the truth is, I worked as an engineer. I actually went to school for aerospace engineering. That's what my degree is in. I worked in the space and defense industry before transferring over to Tesla to work as a mechanical design engineer, working on the design of the Cybertruck before launch. So that's where I was. And alongside of all of that, I was taking on client work. I was a hobbyist and enthusiast photographer and videographer, but also an up and coming professional. Doing those two things at once was a lot. It was really too much. But that's not really what pushed me to ultimately leave engineering, which is something I did, I believe 2022. So yeah, we're actually coming up on, the 4th year of me going solo. And I really enjoyed engineering. I love engineering still. I love solving problems. I loved working with a team. There was a lot about engineering that I truly enjoyed. But the things that I didn't like about engineering, that I loved about photography and I loved about videography, are ultimately what pushed me to leave. And at the top of the list was this monotonous cycle of going to sleep and waking up at the same exact time every single day and showing up to the same exact place at the same time every single day and sitting down at my desk and opening up the same exact applications every day. And just that repetitive cycle really started to weigh on me. I've always wanted to just make it sort of on my own. You know what I mean? Like not going into a company, not having a boss tell me what needs to get done today. I wanted to make those decisions for myself. So with all that said, eventually I jumped ship. I decided to say goodbye to even the wonderful parts about engineering, the things that I loved. I said goodbye because just the cyclic nature, the monotony of it all was starting to drive me a little crazy. And when it came to anything having to do with a camera, whether it was just me going out on an adventure and taking photos for me and making a video for me, or, working with a client where the client was different every time, the project, the scope of work was always changing. That constant challenge that, it's always something different. That's what I loved about this. And I still love that about this. That's still there. But the cyclic nature, the repetitive cycle, the monotony, the same exact workflow every day, the sitting at the desk for, 9, 10, 11 hours every single day. I've sort of created that environment, the part of engineering I didn't like. I've created that for myself here. I've monotonized the process of creating. And so all of that said, all of that out of the way, I want to make some changes because, I'm so grateful, like I said, for having grown a following here and you guys giving me awesome feedback all the time. And I'm glad these videos have been valuable to you. I'm still going to make a lot of the same content moving forward, but I need to, for my own sake, figure out a way to do it that brings the adventure back into using a camera. Like the reason, another little tidbit about myself, my dream was to be an adventure videographer. I wanted to make these Sam Colder-esque, adventure style films. I wanted to travel the world. That's what I wanted to do with a camera. For many reasons, I've done a little bit of that, but not to the scale that I wanted to. And I'm not saying I'm going to jump ship, like I'm traveling the world now. I don't even know if I want that anymore. But what I do want is more of that in my life. I need to get back into capturing moments in my life that I believe are meaningful to me, that are meaningful to my wife, that will be meaningful to my future children. I need to get some of that back. So yeah, moving forward, I'm gonna try my best to change things up while also, I still want to keep a similar vibe. I still want to give you guys tips and tricks. I still want to help you to improve your workflows. But I also need to do less of sitting at my desk so much, sitting behind the computer. I need to do more of taking my camera out into the world and a little bit less of using my camera to make videos about cameras and using this microphone to talk about cameras and microphones. It's all like, it's also like even the nature of the work, not the day-to-day cycle, but like the nature of the work in itself is cyclic in a different sense. It's I'm using the tools of creating to talk about the tools that I use to create the videos of the camera that I'm using to film with. It's like crazy. It's like a little ridiculous, and it has a time and it has a place, and I've done it for so long now. And shout out to the people who have been doing it for 10 plus years. I mean, if you love it, you love it. Keep going. But yeah, I can only do this for so long, and I can only do so much of it. So it will continue to get mixed in to my photos and videos that I share, to the content that I make. Expect, not a whole lot to change in that regard, but expect maybe a little bit less of it, and expect maybe a little bit more of me sharing some real world adventures, to share more of my photography, something I haven't stopped doing since making these videos, but that I've definitely put on the back burner as far as sharing with you guys. If you actually don't want to be a part of this, ongoing journey, at the end of the day, this is told by Nick. You know what I mean? It's not told by DJI. It's not told by Sony. It's not told by anybody else. It's told by me. So if I want to make different content, if I want to share my photos, I'm going to do it. And if you don't want to be there for it, literally, like, no harm, no foul, do it, right? Unfollow me, because I want to bring along the people who want to be here for what I want to put into the world, and what I want to share, and the stories that I want to tell. And even if we're friends in real life, or even if we're friends here on social media, it's all good, right? It's been hard, but I've had to unfollow some people that I really like them as people, but their content is just not something that inspires me anymore. It's not something that I necessarily want to see anymore. So I have unfollowed people, and that's a hard decision to make, but no harm toward the person, and I'll certainly take no offense at all if you want to move on. So, but yeah, that's that. Thank you for being here. If you made it to the end of the video, shout out to you. You're a real one. And let's see what happens next.